Just underway at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea, Liverpool. Pat Nevin and John Murray.
Yes, Chelsea in possession. Long ball down the right-hand side for Pedro Neto to chase, but Van Dijk gets there. Just gives it back to Mamardashvili, making his Premier League debut, Pat Nevin. Not sure about that.
I don't think he was
on his
sure
Premier
either.
League debut. However, he got rid of it.
He did, but he took it on his left foot. He should have taken it on his right foot, and it gave João Pedro a chance to get very, very close to him. But having seen Mamardashvili quite a few times for the national side, he is a top quality goalkeeper, certainly as a shot stopper. We're going to find out how good a footballer he is soon.
Yes, very, very able replacement though, coming in for the injured Alisson. So Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0, here at Stamford Bridge, where the smoke from the pre-match fireworks has cleared, although we can still smell them in the air, as Gravenberch just put a foot in there and caught Fernandes. And Fernandes gets to his feet and looks quite angrily at referee Anthony Taylor, who allowed play to continue. But I think we had a good view of that, Pat, and he did catch him on the side of the ankle. As Bradley plays one forward now for Liverpool, it's over the top of Szoboszlai, and then Reece James is in position to chest it back to his goalkeeper, Sanchez.
Just a little bit of a change of system with Chelsea today. Very unusual to see such an adaptation. I thought Gusto was going to play right fullback. It's not. It's James that's playing there. Gusto's playing in a forward attacking area. So Chelsea are playing a 4-1-4-1 to start the game off.
Yeah, with Gusto in this advanced position and Reece James as the right back. So Sanchez in goal, James at right back, Achampong and Badiashile, the two central defenders, with Chalobah suspended after he was one of the three players, Chelsea players, who've been sent off in the last 4 matches. Cucurella at left back, then Caicedo in the midfield as Liverpool played forward, and out to the left-hand side now. Gakpo into the penalty area, tries to cross it, but it's blocked. It's blocked well by the teenager Achampong, who get across quickly and was able to block it away, and Chelsea are able to clear it to the halfway line, where Pedro Neto concedes a foul. So a free kick to Liverpool, who take it quickly. Anthony Taylor allows them to do that. Gakpo just keeps it in on the left-hand side. Gakpo in the full-back position against Gusto, who's dropped back in there now. Then back to the edge of the penalty area. McAllister is challenged. Good challenge that from Enzo Fernandez. Still bounces into the Chelsea penalty area. Gakpo back to the left-hand side. Here's the cross. Oh, Salah was challenged by Cucurella, who just got a touch on that and was able to clear it away. Chelsea under some pressure from Liverpool here. It is the world champions, the FIFA Club World Champions, against the Premier League champions. So lots of trophy pedigree, lots of gold badges around the place, and Liverpool with the ball in the centre circle. So yeah, the Chelsea forward line, Pat. So Neto on the right-hand side, then Malo Gusto, then Enzo Fernandez, Garnacho on the left, and João Pedro through the middle. Liverpool still attacking. There's a good start from them, and then into the penalty area it comes, but too close to Sanchez, with McAllister making that burst forward. And the Liverpool team, Mamardashvili in goal, as we've mentioned. Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk and Kirkes is the back four. Then Gravenberch, McAllister and Szoboszlai in the advanced position again today, as opposed to right back. Salah and Gakpo in the wide positions. Alexander Isak through the middle, the new number 9, as Mamardashvili receives the ball now from Konate, and the Liverpool goalkeeper can clear it to the halfway line. And Hugo Ekitike, incidentally, is among the substitutes, even though he had what was billed and said to be a thigh strain, as McAllister's crossfield pass evades James, but also was hit too firmly and is out of play for a throw into Liverpool on the left.
It's been a great start to the game, real good pace about it. Liverpool looking particularly dangerous down that left-hand side. They're trying to overload, so it's not Gusto, it's James obviously at right full-back just now, and they've got to that byline a couple of times, and both teams look to me as if they think the other side's a bit weak at the moment. We're going to have a bit of a go.
Yeah, Pat Nevin with us here, twice Chelsea Player of the Year, Scotland international, and we're sitting high here in the East Stand watching Liverpool attack again. Gakpo couldn't quite get the pass to Szoboszlai. Caicedo brilliantly read that, actually, sprinted forward, cut it out in classic Caicedo style, and Chelsea are able to pass it back to the edge of their 6-yard box. Excellent pace from this match, and Arne Slot so far, I would say, Pat, has got exactly what he wanted for a high-tempo start against Chelsea here. Try and take advantage of the fact that they have lost their last 2 Premier League games, and clearly there's a bit of edginess here at Stamford Bridge among the home sections.
And of course there's history between these two teams as well, which adds to everything else that's on show. But of course, Chelsea will think, keep the pace up, because Liverpool travelling a good distance over to Istanbul there, and they had a hard night. Here's a chance.
Here's one forward for the ball to Gusto on the edge of the penalty area, but it ran away from him all the way through for a goal kick. Former Liverpool man Luis Diaz has scored for Bayern Munich after 14 seconds of their match against Eintracht Frankfurt. So Bayern Munich winning 1-0 away. Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0. We just heard Bukayo Saka a few moments ago. We've heard as well from Nuno Espirito Santo. We'll have more reaction to the 3 o'clock kickoffs at half-time in this match, but Chelsea, Caicedo needed away, and actually Gravenberch stepped in. Liverpool have got it back. Now Gravenberch again in the centre circle, a little pass round the outside of Fernandes to McAllister, back to Gravenberch once more. Liverpool knocking it about really nicely in the early stages. Now Salah to Isak, who passed it behind Salah, actually did well to keep it in play in the end. Cucurella puts in the challenge. He's up for this, no doubt. Cucurella against Salah as Liverpool have it back again with Bradley to Gravenberch, who just stretches for it. Chelsea have got all 11 men behind the ball. How refreshing it is to see these two sides playing each other in their first choice kits as well, as Neto then puts the challenge in down in the full back position this time, and it's out of play for a corner to Liverpool. No excuses for Chelsea, blue shirts, blue shorts, white socks against Liverpool all in red. Mind you, that doesn't normally stop them.
Yeah, not when you're trying to sell your third shirt in a certain part of the season, usually just before Christmas. But lots of interesting things in this game, and the battle with Cucurella, certainly against Mo Salah, is one of many I'm already enjoying in this game.
Yes. Just before Christmas. Here's the corner for Liverpool into the 6-yard box, and Sanchez gets a little touch on that with his fingertips, but Anthony Taylor says, well, he spotted something in there, and he's given a free kick to Chelsea.
Yeah, prepping before Christmas. No, I'm not saying it's just before Christmas just now, but no, it's really interesting to see Cucurella against Salah and various other sort of matchups. But of course, there's been a lot of talk during the week about the amount of goals that have been scored by both these sides, from free kicks, from corner kicks, from all the different set pieces. And that maybe is the best chance that any team has had so far.
Here's a grappling, a real wrestling match between João Pedro and Konate. It's then played over the top for Garnacho to chase, but Mamadashvili was quickly out of his penalty area, and with his left foot was able to hike it out of play down the Chelsea left as they play from right to left, as we look from way up here in the first half on what is a sunny evening now. Christmas might be round the corner, Pat, but my goodness, what an autumnal day it was in London today, with the leaves swirling around in the aftermath of Storm Amy, as Chelsea have it with James. What is the thinking here with James and Gusto, do you think?
Well, James will play a right full back, but will then drop into a back three sometimes if anyone else goes forward. It's quite complicated.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. Here's a nice pass from Cucurella down the left-hand side to the bleach blonde Garnacho, the former Manchester United man who does well against Bradley. And then Chelsea enjoying a bit of possession inside the Liverpool half after Liverpool's strong start to this match. 0-0 if you've just joined us, if you've been out at a match this afternoon, just got back into the car. Here is the hairy Cucurella, who plays it infield, bounces back to Garnacho. Garnacho then, Enzo Fernandez is behind him. His ball into the box, Mamadashvili with a stretch, but a very secure catch actually. Just threw his arms up. I thought for a moment it was going to be over him, but no danger. Caught it really confidently and well.
There are some goalkeepers, John, aren't there? You think they'll just punch it in those situations because they're uncertain. Mamadashvili's never looked like that type of goalkeeper to me. If he can catch it, he will.
Yes, Mamadashvili, who has played a couple of times for Liverpool, but this is his Premier League debut. Came on as a substitute, obviously, when you were in Istanbul with them this week on Tuesday night, Pat, when Alisson picked up that injury. Long one forward for Chelsea, but it will bounce through to Mamadashvili, all in green, Alisson green, but orange gloves. The Georgian Footballer of the Year last year for 2024, and if you are pipping Kavica Kvaratskhelia to that award, you must be decent.
You must be extra special. Although I think Kvaratskhelia won it a few times before that. Yeah, he's a good goalkeeper, and Liverpool fans who haven't seen a great deal of him, I don't think you need to worry. You'll be okay.
You were saying about Gusto and James.
Yeah, adapts. At the moment, I mean, most of the time when they're in normal possession, I think Gusto will move into kind of slightly forward midfield role, and James will go back and start at right back. But sometimes James will just pop in as a back three and then walk forward from that, and that pushes Gusto even further forward. It's a really, I mean, it's a version of what Pep Guardiola used to do with an inverted full-back going into midfield, but it's one step further developed from that. Let's see if it works.
So it is 0-0. Chelsea, who, as I said, have lost their last 2 Premier League matches. Liverpool lost twice in the last 8 days, as Salah is able to play one forward into the penalty area, but Isak is out-muscled actually by Badiashile, who got himself in the right place in between Isak and the ball, and it ran through for a goal kick. So 0-0 it is. Florian Wirtz is on the bench for Liverpool again today, still finding his way, feeling his way. I'm sure you were talking about that on Tuesday night with Ian in Istanbul.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I had some stats. This might surprise you, I was on Liverpool TV yesterday morning, and I was talking to them, and their stats were saying that he has created more chances than anyone else in the Premier League this season.
Konate dives in on the halfway line. João Pedro just got a touch to that. Chelsea continue to attack. Garnacho then back to Enzo Fernandez, 25 yards out. Chelsea still with it on the left-hand side. Liverpool fans booing and whistling Garnacho as the former Manchester United man, and then Caicedo plays it over there to Reece James in the centre circle. So still 0-0.
Interesting start of the game at Liverpool. At least time I talk, Chelsea look as if they're going to do something special. Here we go.
Yeah, ball played forward to Enzo Fernandez, heads it square to João Pedro. Malo Gusto tries to put in the cross. That's blocked by McAllister. It finds its way out to Neto on the right hand side. Thought he was going to cross with his left foot, then does bring it back onto his left foot, curls one in, but that's over everyone and all the way across the 6-yard box and beyond the far post, and it is a goal kick. Pat Nevin.
Really good play there by Neto, a very dangerous ball, and just tiny little bit too high, but I mean that confused the centre-backs and the keeper. It's interesting to see Neto. All he wants is a 1-on-1 versus Kerkez. The problem he's got is he's got 2 full-backs, Gusto and James, who both want to run by him and kill all the space that he wants to run into. So they should decide when to and when not to run into that area.
As the ball bounces back towards the edge of the Chelsea penalty area, but Badiashile is able to lift a volley out to the right-hand side, and Reece James pumps it forward, so Liverpool have got that at the back. So Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0. This is 5 Live on a Saturday evening, the 5:30 kickoff, as Mamardashvili passes that and gives Virgil van Dijk no chance. That was at neck height, Adam's apple height, and even though he leapt high, got a touch on it, couldn't prevent it from going out for a throw-in to Chelsea, and the home sections very much enjoyed that. Van Dijk uncomfortable.
You know, the keeper can be great keepers these days, but they make the good footballers too.
Excellent play. Caicedo away from McAllister and shoots and scores. That is a brilliant finish from Moises Caicedo. It arrowed into the top corner. Nothing Mamardashvili could do about that on his Premier League debut. Cracking start, cracking goal for Chelsea. 1-0 against Liverpool.
Well, he doesn't score that many, but he has lashed that absolutely into the top corner there. He's caught it so clean, but he had so much space. Very noticeable. Liverpool have been given a lot of space away in that sort of area, you know, with the opposition 10 would play. But once again, it's Mardash really tried, just plays the ball long this time. It's a very simple ball. He'd given it away just before then. And the real problem you've got is if you lose it in that wrong area, too high up the park, there's no cover. On this occasion, once again for Liverpool, no cover, top corner for Caicedo. Great goal, great hit. Keeper made a good dive, made it look like a better goal than it was. It's still a cracker.
Actually did get his fingertips to it, Mamardashvili, as he dived to his right with his wrong hand, as it were. But there was a lovely little piece of footwork from Caicedo that took him away from McAllister just when he received the ball. Just a perfect touch. And he's made an excellent start to the game, Caicedo. It's actually his 3rd goal of the season already. If you remember, he scored in the 5-1 at West Ham, scored as well in the 2-2 with Brentford. But that's the pick of the bunch.
Do you know what, one thing I would say, most Chelsea fans that I've talked to over the last few weeks, their complaint has been negativity. Just saying Chelsea have been a wee bit too negative for the players they've got. Now, right from the start of this game, we've explained, it's been a 4-1-4-1, not a 4-2-3-1. So that's a wee bit more positive. And think about who scored the goal. It's the midfielder who would have been one of the deeper lying ones who's actually pushed up a little bit further.
Now here's João Pedro, receives it, left side of the penalty area. Suddenly Chelsea are in full flow after Liverpool's very good start to the match, and João Pedro's left-footed cross is over everyone and will just bounce away out of play for a throw-in. But that was the very definition, wasn't it, of a rifling shot from, what was he, 22, 23 yards out, something like that.
He's caught it so clean though. But against Sunderland, and they've got three midfielders, but instead of two back, one up, it's actually one back, two up. And that's where they got the overload against McAllister.
Here is Garnacho now against Bradley. His ball into the area is cleared away by Konate. Do you remember when Chelsea signed him from Brighton? Do you remember Liverpool agreeing a fee with
so close.
Yeah, for what was that, around about £100 million, wasn't it? In fact, it was 110. That's right, it was 110 million pounds, which forced Chelsea just to go a little higher, and he ended up here instead.
I mean, incredible, and he would do a job for any team whatsoever.
Eintracht Frankfurt have equalised against Bayern Munich. It's 1-1. Garnacho catches up with this ball down the left-hand side. Suddenly Chelsea are transformed. Garnacho back to Cucurella, then infield. Here is the goal scorer. They want him to shoot again. He's 35 yards away from goal this time, so wisely just plays it over the top, and it's headed out of play by Kirkes for a throw-in under pressure from Neto. Neto takes the throw. Great response this from Chelsea, who were really pinned back in by Liverpool in the early stages, but the champions, the Premier League champions that is, find themselves 1-0 down again. Cucurella with the ball into the box, but he's got too much on that, and it swirls away through the 6-yard box and behind for a goal kick. So Chelsea leading Liverpool by 1-0. Caicedo's early goal. There is a choice of listening right now. Hull KR St Helens is on Sports Extra, and the Saracens Bristol match is on Sports Extra 2, which you can hear only on the BBC Sounds app, Sports Extra 2. So that's your choice of listening, but also we'll be keeping you right across the fascinating Edinburgh derby, Gavin Wallace.
It's 0-0 at the moment, and it is fascinating. Both teams unbeaten so far this season, John. Hearts top of the league. If they win, they'll go 5 ahead of Celtic. A Hibs win would see them go third. That's how big it is already. 0-0, 3 played.
Excellent play, Gakpo, then Szoboszlai with a chance, but it's blocked inside the 6-yard box. Well, both Cucurella and Badiashile were there. One of them was able to make contact, and the offside flag then goes up.
Szoboszlai, the ball comes back to him. It's bouncing just before him, but what he needs to make sure is he gets it low, gets it on target with a little bit of a power. Now he managed to do all that. In the breakthrough, I thought there might have been an offside, but there wasn't. We've got a replay here. Szoboszlai does all the right things, but it's not the goalkeeper. I think it's Badiashile who gets his body in front of it. But really good break there for Liverpool and a decent chance.
Yeah, and I think Salah was deemed to be offside and interfering with play.
I think it might have been Szoboszlai ran beyond, and when he came back, he was then offside because he'd ran beyond the play.
That Frankfurt goal's been disallowed, so Bayern Munich still winning 1-0. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0. And here is Szoboszlai now, just outside the penalty area, tried to play it forward, but Chelsea defenders scurrying back in numbers. One of them was able to get a touch on that, and Chelsea have got it back. I mentioned the Hull KR St Helens playoff semi-final. That was a 5:30 kick-off, just like this Premier League match. What is the news with you, Chris Cooper?
15 minutes gone, John. Hull Kingston Rovers 2, St Helens 0. The points from the boot of Arthur Moore, penalty wide out on the left-hand side after Jack Wellsby was sin-bin. They're down to 12, they're up against it, 2-0 Rovers.
1-0 Chelsea here with almost 20 minutes played, and it's been a very watchable match so far. With it being such a windy day in London, I did wonder whether that might have had an effect, but not at all, Pat.
One of the good things about Stamford Bridge, it's very, very enclosed here, so not much of the wind going down there. Look at the flags and the corner flags, absolutely motionless, so don't think it's having a great effect. But yeah, it's been a good game. It's gone on at a decent clip. A lot of players seem to be really sharp just now. Just watching João Pedro off the ball. He fancies himself against Konate. Put himself up against him all the time, twisting and turning and moving constantly, even when he's not got the ball.
Yes, he already lured Konate in, didn't he, to put in a challenge actually in the opposition half, and very nearly got away from him there. 1-0 Chelsea. So I think they were a little nervous, the Chelsea supporters, in the early stages, but the mood inside the ground has been transformed in the home sections, as you said, Pat. I mean, there's such a rich history, isn't there, between these clubs over the course of probably the last quarter of a century now, over the course of the Abramovich years, and probably a little bit before that as well, as Caicedo plays it forward. It is the 199th meeting in all competitions. Long ball forward by James. This is for Pedro Neto to race away down the right, but even he can't reach that, and it's out of play for a throw into Liverpool in their own left-back position. So Liverpool, after this testing week, having been in London last weekend and beaten by the currently very, very good Crystal Palace team, then having to go to Istanbul, now back to London, are already up against it.
They certainly are. I mean, they look good. They do look good on the left-hand side. Gakpo, who was quite quiet in Istanbul, he's a very good start to this game. He's got beyond Reece James quite a few times. And it is interesting, almost all of the attacking play by Liverpool is on the left-hand side, which is quite surprising when you've got a guy called Mo Salah on the right.
He's barely been involved, correct. Salah. 1-0 to Chelsea. Caicedo, excellent goal, look out for that. Match of the day tonight. And of course, new this season, all of the Premier League highlights available Saturday night, 8 o'clock. So you'll find them, BBC Sport website and app, and on the iPlayer as well. But Alan Shearer and Wayne Rooney on Match of the Day tonight with Gabby Logan. Ball bounces out of play on the halfway line, and it is a throw-in to Liverpool. I do get it. You were saying to me before the game, Pat, about it does look, this Liverpool side looks to have a better balance, doesn't
yes,
it?
It does. It does. Problem is, you need to...
Poor pass by Konate. Tried to give it to Van Dijk, but overhit it ahead of him, straight out of play for a throw.
Not the first time over the last week or two, and certainly the game in Istanbul was very noticeable how many times Liverpool gave it away. Centre-back position, full-back position, deep-line midfield position, and found themselves in very, very dangerous areas. Now Chelsea have done that a few times this season as well, but they haven't done it much in this game so far.
That looked as though that might have been a foul throw by Pedro Neto, as he was looking to hurl it back into his own half, but as so often is the case, a blind eye is turned to that.
Very noticeable again, top of Neto up against Kirkes. I mean, Kirkes, they're battling each other just now, and I'll tell you what, Neto fancies it, because he's had one absolute clean foot race with him, and it's showing him a clean pair of heels. So he wants to get the ball all the time in that right-hand side, Neto. And Kirkes, who was brilliant going forward, left back area for Bournemouth, wasn't he? Has he been over the halfway line yet? Not that I've seen.
No, we've not really seen that Kirkes yet, have we, in a Liverpool shirt? And he's got a challenge on his hands here against Neto. And I know they're one of your former clubs, Pat, Chelsea, but you must absolutely love coming here with so many wingers to watch. A surfeit of wingers.
Well, it's not just Chelsea, it's everywhere. Have a look at Arsenal, they're not bad for wingers. The current era is a very special time for wingers. Yes,
and one of your new favourites, Estevao, is on the substitutes bench today. We'll probably see him later. Paddy Shield, nice play from him. Gives it to Gusto, who actually passed it slightly behind Neto. Nevertheless, he's able to turn and set off towards Kirkes. But
Did you see Gusto ran right into his space again? Yes. Time and again. Neto's going, where can I go? He just ran into where I want to run and chase the fullback.
Well, you know, Gusto's not playing in his natural position, as Garnacho wins a free kick halfway inside the Liverpool half while they get themselves organised. Let's get another update from Chris Cooper at the Rugby League.
Hulkingston Rovers 8, St Helens 0, taking advantage of the numerical advantage. And Mikey Lewis has gone over in the corner, set up by Joe Burgess. Great left winger he is for Hulkingston Rovers. The extras added on from Morgay from exactly the same spot, more or less, as the penalty a moment ago. Rovers 8, St Helens 0.
Commentary continues on that on Sports Extra on your digital radio, BBC Sounds app. Free kick then for Chelsea. Neto. Chelsea leading by 1-0. Scored in the 15th minute. And we are now in the 25th minute. And this free kick, Neto gesticulating. Reece James actually runs over it and then runs away. This is out on the left-hand side, halfway inside the Liverpool half, and it's clipped forward by Neto into the Liverpool penalty area, headed out, then the shot by Gusto, but not convincing, blocked in the area. Caicedo, they want him to shoot again, but he gives it to Neto, who runs onto it, and then curls it in right-footed. That's a teaser, but Mamadashvili's able to come, leap high, catch it, then falls over as he overarms it out for Salah. Here he is, finally into the action again. The former Chelsea player, Mo Salah, briefly before things really took off for him, but all he can do there, Pat, is actually play the ball back into his own half, and it ends up with Mamadashvili again.
He's actually a brilliant defender there in the right back area from Reece James. He had a lot in his hands there. He's got Mo Salah, he's got 1-on-1, he's not got any cover, but he didn't dive in, didn't do anything silly, held him up.
Well, as Salah is hauled over by Badiashile on the halfway line, then is played forward for the run of Bradley, and referee Anthony Taylor, I thought he could have brought that play back.
He's saying there was no foul there.
Really?
So he must have seen Salah doing the same to Badiashile.
Okay, here is Salah running at Badiashile into the penalty area from the right-hand side, but Badiashile did well enough, actually, stood up against him, and Enzo Fernandez, the Chelsea number 8, was able to come back into his own half and then played forward for João Pedro, who had to be offside, and indeed he was flagged. The rare sight of a flag actually going up, which gives you an idea how far offside he must have been.
Well, I didn't think he was that far offside. That was a wee bit tighter than that.
Mind you, Pat, this is the top team.
Look out!
It was tight. However, he was off.
Yeah, I agree with that, but there's definitely no daylight, and you're supposed to give you've got VAR for a reason.
For a reason, yeah. However, this is the top team: Anthony Taylor, Gary Bezic, Adam Nunn, the assistants. That is the World Cup team that'll work together. As the ball's played forward for Kirkes, and he is bursting forward now. But Pedro Neto has gone back with him. The two of them have on the opposite end of the pitch together, and Neto did his job, and it bounced off Kirkes and through for a goal kick.
Well, do you know, we were talking earlier on about individual battles here, and the one between Cucurella and Salah, that is very interesting in itself, and it hasn't really exploded yet. The one between Kirkes and Neto, that's been really special so far, but that's the first time, you're right enough, Kirkes has got to the byline, and what happens? He's got that lad Neto right beside him.
As the goal kick is taken by Robert Sanchez for Chelsea, and it is deflected out of play off Kirkes. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0 is the score, almost half an hour played. Television cameras just now focused in on some of the Chelsea players not involved in this match, most notably Cole Palmer with the groin injury that's keeping him out for Chelsea and for England as well. And Chalobah suspended for this match. Of course, Delap is out for a period of time. Fofana, Santos, the young midfielder as well. And you mentioned Tosin Adarabioyo as well. Here's Liverpool with Gravenberch. Saracens winning 17-0 in that 5:25 kickoff in the Prem. And speaking of England, the captain Harry Kane has scored again for Bayern Munich. Frankfurt 0, Bayern Munich 2 in that Bundesliga match. Kane, who is almost unstoppable at the moment, as Thomas Tuchel was saying to me yesterday, he doesn't just score in every game, he seems to score 2 in every game.
Yeah, but I was talking to Phil McNulty, the BBC's reporter, and it was quite surprising when I said I really rate Kane right alongside Haaland, absolutely alongside Haaland. Now he might have less goals in a certain amount of games, but look at the teams that Harry's played for before. He played for Spurs for all that time, whereas Haaland's always playing for the likes of Manchester City, etc. I know England fans love Harry. I still think you underestimate him. He's not brilliant.
Chelsea winning the ball back in the central third. In fact, Szoboszlai was just caught there by Caicedo, and that is given as a free kick, and Szoboszlai's stayed down, holding his left leg just above the knee, which he has stretched straight out. Anthony Taylor did bring it back for that one.
Well, he's not moved that knee. Giveaways, various different giveaways you see with players, and I'm hoping it's not his left.
I think.
Yeah, he got a real fright there.
Yeah.
Sometimes players, that happens, you feel a jar, and he's felt a jar at the top of his knee. And that is the real fear always for footballers, ACLs and things like that. But he's up, he's moving, his foot wasn't planted, so it's probably just a knock.
Yeah, Szoboszlai, who has been, quite possibly Liverpool's best player this season.
So why play him at left or right back when he's unsuited to it?
He's in the midfield role here today. and Liverpool have got to come from behind. Kirkes playing it all the way through, couldn't find the pass back to Gakpo. Chelsea cheers for that, and it is through for a goal kick. So 1-0 Chelsea lead after earlier Arsenal won. So they are currently, if you look at the Premier League table now, top by 1 point after their 2-0 win against West Ham in our earlier 5 Live commentary match. Sports Extra, Manchester United were winning 2-0 against Sunderland. They're 8th in the table now, Manchester United. And here's Gakpo earlier. Tottenham winning 2-1 at Leeds in the lunchtime kickoff, and Tottenham are in 3rd. Frank Lampard's Coventry top of the Championship now, and doing very, very nicely.
And scoring for fun, without a shadow of a doubt. Just very much in the Frank Lampard style as a player. Lots of goals.
Yeah, just looking for his banner. There it is, halfway up the Matthew Harding stand. Super Frankie Lampard, number 8, white letters on the blue background. So 1-0 Chelsea lead. The former leaders Middlesbrough were beaten 1-0 at Portsmouth in the Championship. All the news on the football pages of the BBC Sport website as Chelsea thought they were away there, but the referee brought it back for a foul by Fernandes. So a free kick to Liverpool 10 yards inside their own half. As Pat suggested, Phil McNulty and Nizar Cancelo will be writing on this match on the website. You'll be able to read their words later. Here is Konate passing it forward to Salah. Salah with the 3 goals that he scored so far in all competitions. He's challenged. Well, that was uncompromising from Fernandes. He went down. Liverpool still in possession. Anthony Taylor says play on, which they do, with the long-haired Szoboszlai, who goes back to halfway to Konate, and Van Dijk now with João Pedro herring around, putting him under pressure, and then there's a misplaced pass by Gravenberg ahead of Kirkes, out of play, throwing to Chelsea. And this hassling and harrying is working for Chelsea.
Yeah, but it's just not as smooth with Liverpool at the moment. Now, it hasn't been all season, we know that. It just isn't quite clicking, and we've hardly mentioned Isak's name all day. We know how brilliant a player he is. He's not linking up much. Certainly Mo Salah's never get away from Cucurella at any point in time.
Chelsea fans feeling that Garnacho was sandwiched there, no free kick given, and then Gusto, poor pass from him, wasn't able to pass it forward for Neto. You could hear somebody smashing their fist against the tabletop in frustration. Then it's played through. Kirkes with a chance, he squares it, could have gone for goal, but was unselfish, tried to square it for Salah, and Chelsea intercepted it and were able to clear away, and already attacking away downfield now on the left wing with Garnacho. Garnacho up against Bradley, moves infield. Cucurella on the overlap, arrives now, the Spanish international. Fernandes, then back to Cucurella, who goes down, I have to say rather theatrically, as is often the case, but Anthony Taylor says it was a foul, and it's a yellow card for Bradley. So the Liverpool right back is booked for that. More on that from Pat Nevin in a moment after you hear from Chris Cooper again.
Hulkingston Rovers 12, St Helens 0, totally dominant so far. Second try of the night, this time it's come from Joe Burgess. The video ref had a look, but he said yes. Arthur Moore couldn't add the extras. St Helens not had a sniff so far. 12-0 Hull KR.
Commentary on Sports Extra and also the grand final. You'll be able to hear that here on 5 Live this time next week, 6 o'clock kickoff. Still Hearts 0, Hibs 0. Pat?
With that yellow card, it has to give him a yellow card. But I'll tell you what, Cucurella was very clever, because he was dragging Bradley back first, and both of them were dragging. Cucurella knows when to leave go when the referee turns round. As soon as the referee turns round, all he sees is Bradley pulling him back. Yellow card.
Yeah, he is very adept, isn't he?
Yes.
At that, as it's played square. Gusto then lifts one over the top. A stretch from Pedro Neto, who's sliding, looking to pull it across, but wasn't able to make any contact. Yeah. And it's a goal kick.
It was good. It was a well-worked free kick there. Almost got him on the byline, right on the 6 yards out from the goal line, which would have been a very dangerous place. When you looked at me for a comment there, I thought you were going to ask for a comment on the Hibs Hearts game. 2 unbeaten teams, that's a very positive way of putting it, in that Hibs have won 1 and Hearts have won 5.
Yeah, Szoboszlai playing it to Salah. Salah's attempted thread of the ball past Badiashile doesn't work, because the Chelsea number 5 went to ground and was able to clear it away. No Colwill either. I don't think I mentioned his name, did I, when I was talking about the players who are unavailable. Big miss with that knee injury. He may very well have been in the England setup as well under Thomas Tuchel. It's interesting yesterday, wasn't it? The news on Jude Bellingham being left out.
And you know, I'm not even mildly surprised at that.
Well, the coach, the head coach, said that it was all in the interests of continuity. Here is Chelsea breaking forward now to the edge of the penalty area, where the excellent run from the teenager, the central defender, Achampong, to the edge of the Liverpool box. Eventually in came the challenge, put it out for a throw on the right hand side.
He's looked a little bit shaky a few times when he's come into the Chelsea team, Achampong. He's not looked that way today. I mean, getting the ball running forward, that's not the first time he's done it, and gone into almost opposing 18-yard line. So a real burst of confidence from Achampong. He may well get a run of a couple of games now.
Yep, he may well do, as Sanchez clears it away downfield, but splits Cucurella and Garnacho, and actually hit it straight at Arne Slot off the field, who killed it dead.
Yeah, I was very impressed with that. One of the best touches of the game so far. But you look at Liverpool, you just wonder, lots of new players, we know that, Wirtz is not playing, but he's a new player. You're looking at Isak trying to fit in with the team and understand how to play. But there's not as many in today. I thought it would have been a lot more smooth than it has been so far.
Yeah. So it's 1-0 to Chelsea. BBC Radio 5 Live. Chelsea, Neto comes out with the ball as Kirkes challenged him. So now Neto away down the right wing. Van Dijk has cruised across, but Neto takes him on and beats him, and then the low ball into the 6-yard box is turned behind by the falling Canate, and it's a corner to Chelsea.
Well, first of all, Kirkes, bad mistake, but Neto took good advantage of it. When he's got to run from that halfway line, Virgil van Dijk's thinking, OK, I'll get you in a position where I won't chase you, I won't have to get in a foot race with you. And I can see Pedro Neto thinking, I don't care, I'm going to run straight at you, because I can do you for pace. And he does. He gets to the byline there, gets the ball beyond him, and eventually the ball is put away, or kicked away in the 6-yard line. But Neto's really caught the eye at the start of this game. But it's really good.
I have to say, Pat, he's a player I do love to watch when he's in full flow. Corner is taken short. Liverpool have conceded 4 of the now 8 goals they've let in the Premier League this season from set pieces, but Chelsea played short. Cucurella now back, Garnacho, right foot, but curling it. There were a whole crowd of players in front of him, tried to whip it, bend it round them from just outside the D, but not enough whip on it. It didn't come back in, it flashed past the post.
Well, I'll make a guess for you tonight. You will see that analysed in Match of the Day tonight. That's one of the best set-piece corners that I've actually seen this season.
Yeah, now here's Garnacho down the left-hand side into the penalty area. Szoboszlai with a challenge. Anthony Taylor was less than 10 yards away. He was not interested, not in the slightest. And Van Dijk has walked over to Anthony Taylor, making the diving motion, suggesting that Garnacho has thrown himself down.
Well, we'll find out, because the VAR will look at it. Look, he has thrown himself down, but it's whether he's thrown himself down after some sort of touch. And there's a little shove in the back by Szoboszlai. Just a little shove with the left hand in his back.
Enough.
Now, it's not a lot, but it might be enough. They might think from that angle. I think that would be tough.
VAR are having a look. It's up on all of the screens here, all around the ground. So Anthony Taylor, and is he being called across? No, I think he's coming across with his yellow card. So someone has said, Enzo Maresca, I think, has said something to the 4th official, Farai Halan, and it's a yellow card for Enzo Maresca, who sarcastically claps as Anthony Taylor runs back onto the pitch. So that is behind his back, and there's lots of pointing going on down there. A member of the Liverpool coaching staff has also got involved. 4th official is just trying to step in between them, and they've looked at it and they've said no, it's not a penalty. They've backed up Anthony Taylor's decision on the field.
Right, from the distance, like yourself, I didn't think that looked anywhere close to a penalty kick. He threw himself to the ground. When you see it again, slow motion, every single angle, surprise, surprise, there's a little nudge, a little hand in the small of Garnacho's back, and he's made the most of it, right? But there is a hand in his back. So, you know, had he given it first time, he wouldn't have changed it. Definitely wouldn't have changed it.
Yes, one of those. But I don't think Anthony Taylor would have been inclined to give that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I have to say, I mean, you may be looking at the different levels and that you could give a penalty kick at. That's a level that would seem harsh to give a penalty kick for me.
Anthony Taylor, famously not Chelsea's favourite referee. Corner taken short by Liverpool. It's swirled away across the penalty area. When I say Chelsea, I mean Chelsea supporters. Here's Gakpo still going, left-footed cross, but it's caught by Sanchez at the near post, and he's going to deliver it for Garnacho to chase. Liverpool defenders back with him. Szoboszlai, Garnacho trying to beat the two of them. The ball bounces up and Szoboszlai is able to head it away, still probably 7 or 8 yards outside of the penalty area, and then Szoboszlai stands up to Fernandez's challenge, and it's played back to the edge of the box. I have to say, Pat, I'm quite enjoying this.
Well, you took the words out of my mouth. I just looked up at the clock there and it says 41 minutes, and I'm thinking, where did that go? I mean, it has been a good game. It has been generally fought in a good way. You know, the attack, not many players throwing themselves to the ground too easily. It's been quite an open game as well. There have been chances both sides. Liverpool have had two very, very good chances. But at the moment, I have to say 1-0. It's probably just about the right score. The fact that Chelsea have just, you know, after the first 10 minutes, I think they've been the slightly better side.
Yeah. And after all of the money that Liverpool spent, remember, more than any other club in the recent transfer window. In fact, these two were the top two, the biggest spenders in the world in the last transfer window. Liverpool spending, well, upwards of £400 million, and Chelsea not that far behind them, 300 million, although of course they did make the books balance as Gusto plays it across field. Garnacho inside the penalty area but wasn't able to trap that like Arne Slot a few moments ago. It bounced away from him. Garnacho then with Enzo Fernandez looking to see if the opportunity is there to curl it into the box, but gives it back to Garnacho, then further back and all the way back to the halfway line now. But the point I was going to make, Pat, is that this Liverpool team that's out there has really got a last season feel to it. Apart from Isak through the middle, Kirkez at left back, and obviously Mamardashvili in goal. But Isak has not been in the match.
No, he hasn't been in the match. It's just not suited him yet. You know, there's no link-up play. Right at the start, he tried to link up twice with Mo Salah, but neither of them really can get into the match now. If space opens up, they might.
McAllister gives it to Salah, left-footed ball. Isak with a header, it's over the top. What a pass from Salah. That outside of the boot pass from Salah on the right wing. That was almost perfection.
Yeah. Do you know how quickly I was trying to get that line in? They might get an understanding yet. By the time at the end of the sentence, Salah's got the ball, and you're right, left boot onto Isak's head. Now, he was stretching for it a little bit, but I think he'll be a bit disappointed in himself that he doesn't get that on target. Not many opportunities though between the two of them, but they don't really need that many opportunities because they're such quality players. But I've said it before, I think Ekitike, the way he plays, maybe almost better suited through the middle. And there's no doubt in my mind that eventually during some games, and maybe even this one, you'll see Ekitike and Isak on the same pitch at the same time.
Yeah, if you weren't listening earlier, Ekitike is on the bench for Liverpool today. That was their best chance, Liverpool. Isak with a header. Should he have done better there, Pat, would you say?
Yeah, I'd say he'll know that he should get that on target. It was a little bit behind him, and we stretched a wee bit, but I mean, that's the deal. You get them on target and ask the goalkeeper a question, and he didn't manage to do that. But, you know, at least he's got himself in the right position.
Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0. 5 Live. Listen as well via the BBC Sounds app. You can pause, rewind the live action. Garnacho gets his ankle capped by Bradley, who is on a yellow card.
Wow.
And it's a free kick.
And he knows he's done it. I mean, I don't think he's not deliberately kicked him, but the feet were too quick from Garnacho there. He's absolutely on his last warning now, isn't he, Bradley?
With the shout for the penalty, by the way, it's just up on the screen now. The explanation is that the contact on Szoboszlai on Garnacho was deemed to be minimal.
Well, I think that almost exactly the words I used there. There's not enough in that to make you go down. Certainly not in the style that he did go down, but that would have been a very, very soft penalty.
Yeah, I think Chris Sutton might have his eyes on that for the simulation game tomorrow night on 6:06. Free kick then, 2 minutes of added time at the end of this entertaining first half, which has contained so far 1 goal, but a very good goal from Moises Caicedo, the Ecuadorian international. Here's the free kick from James. It's attempted near post glance, just heads it up in the air, and then it's cleared away by McAllister. Salah and Neto are wrestling, and then the ball is pumped forward straight out of play. Goal.
Here's a question that Liverpool fans will be asking just now. Remember the recent game, I think it was against Burnley, where Kerkez got booked for diving and the manager took him off after 38 minutes, allegedly because he feared he would be sent off, right? Well, Bradley's been booked. He's just had another foul there that he knew could have been red. What does Arne Slot do at half-time now? Does he keep him on? Does he take a chance? Because you're going to have to put somebody in there who's not an absolute out-and-out right back. You're going to have to do Frimpong, or else you're going to have to ask Szoboszlai to go back into that area again, which hasn't looked brilliant recently.
I suppose Joe Gomez is also an option.
Must be a temptation. It's a shame for Bradley, because he would love to get up front, do some overlapping, work really well with Salah. There has been no opportunity to do that so far.
Still Hearts 0, Hibs 0, and we'll have more reaction to the afternoon 3 o'clock kickoffs at half-time in this match on 5 Live. Ball out of play for a throw-in to Liverpool. I think this will be the last action of the first half as Bradley takes the throw back to Konate, and there is the half-time whistle. So Liverpool, after their 2 defeats in the last 8 days, they've never lost 3 in a row under Arne Slot so far, but at half-time it's Chelsea who are beating them 1-0.
They are, and again, Liverpool fans know they've not been firing on all cylinders this season, and once again there's been moments where it looked okay, but the real stars you expect to shine. Salah, incredibly quiet, Isak as well, but getting very, very little service, and it just has looked quite disjointed out there. When Chelsea, without being absolutely brilliant, have created a few chances themselves. There is not much in it, but I think Chelsea are edging it just now. One bit that did stand out, Salah the ball was played to the right hand side, didn't even attempt the header alongside Cucurella, and just a few moments before that Cucurella got the ball and ran away from him, and Salah stood still, didn't chase back. I suspect Arne Slot might have noticed that.
But the goal, a really good one, a lovely shuffle from Caicedo past McAllister, excellent finish, may well be a contender for goal of the month. Half-time, Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0.
That Liverpool right side is taking a little while to adjust, isn't it, to new players, Pat?
How delicately put, Mark. No,
but Trent Alexander-Arnold leaving was always going to be more than just a right back going, wasn't it?
Yes, I get your point, but I have to say I think Bradley's fabulous. I think Bradley, when he plays it, he's very, very best. When Liverpool are on form, where they are on the front foot, he flies forward and looks almost as good, or maybe as good sometimes as Trent. However, he's not got forward at all at any point this game. Salah's done very little. He's not even chasing back, and that's the way he plays, and maybe he has to play that way because when he needs the explosive power, he might score 2 goals, and he's done the right thing. But there's nothing coming from there. Those are a lot more dangerous on the left-hand side. Gakpo's done really, really well. Szoboszlai, when he breaks through that kind of left-hand side from the midfield, he looks strong as well. But in the Premier League, you do need everybody working hard. And with the best will in the world, that's not Mo Salah these days. Brilliant though he is, underlined 3 times in red pen. Isak, not famously the most hard-working player off the ball either. And you just wonder sometimes, they need to get somebody in there who's going to really put himself about so that those 2 players can get the space. And when they get space, then they can be their brilliant selves. But work rate, in that right-hand side, it's not looked right.
Chelsea lead by a goal to 0 at the break, back with John and Pat for the second half. And then it's Natalie Pike and Chris Sutton with 606 08085 909 693. About 10 minutes to go to half-time in the Edinburgh Derby. Gavin Wallace.
Precisely that, Mark. It's 0-0 at the moment. Just as Hearts are in a dangerous area, but it comes to nothing. The best for Hearts, those came through the Greek midfielder Alexandros Kirizidis. He's had two good chances, one whistled over the bar and a free kick at the far side just by the post. This is meaty and it's a real derby, but it's still 0-0.
Good first half for the home side in Super League. Chris.
Totally dominant. Hull KR 12, St Helens 0. We're 10 seconds away from the interval. Saints haven't had a sniff. Early points from a Morg penalty and then tries from Lewis and Burgess. Could have been another one just a moment ago, but Peter Mickle was held up by Jack Wellesby, who'd been sin bin. There goes the half-time hooter. Rovers 12, Saints with an awful lot to do, 0.
In the other sport that's going on at the moment, Carlisle lead at Scunthorpe by a goal to 0 in the National League, and Scunthorpe are down to 10 in that game as well. Glenavon won up on Portadown at half-time in the Northern Irish Premiership. In the Scottish League 1, goalless between Queen of the South and Alloa. In the Welsh Premier League, Colwyn Bay are 1-0 up on Carnarvon. And in Rugby Union's Prem, Saracens have had a very good first half at home to Bristol. They lead by 24 points to 0. In the Rugby Championship at half-time, Benetton 3, Glasgow 14. Bulls lead Leinster by 22 points to 10. In other sport today, George Russell is on pole for the Singapore Grand Prix. Max Verstappen will be alongside him. Championship leader Oscar Piastri is in third. South Africa defended their rugby championship crown after they beat Argentina at Twickenham. Earlier, New Zealand won away to Australia. In the other Prem rugby games today, Leicester came from 19-0 down to beat Harlequins 29-19. Exeter beat Newcastle. Fallen Angel was the winner of the feature race at Newmarket. Dan Pembroke has won T13 Javelin Gold at the World Paras. It's his third world title in a row. He's the second British athlete to win gold after Hannah Cockcroft's victory in her 100 metres on the penultimate day of competition. What did I say? 800 metres for Hannah Cockcroft. And in the football today in the Premier League, Tottenham won 2-1 at Leeds in the lunchtime game. Arsenal have gone top of the Premier League with a 2-0 win at home to West Ham. Manchester United beat Sunderland 2-0. Coventry put 5 past Sheffield Wednesday to go top of the Championship. Middlesbrough lost away at Portsmouth. The bottom two now in the Championship, Sheffield United and Sheffield Wednesday. Stevenage are on top of League One and they have a game in hand on second place Bradford after they beat Luton 2-0. Walsall are on top of League Two after coming from a goal down to beat Bristol Rovers 2-1. Newport have dropped to the bottom after they were beaten at home by Swindon. Steve Cottrell in his first game back as Cheltenham manager saw them beat Fleetwood and they move out to the bottom two. And Manchester City have closed the gap at the top of the WSL to 1 point after a 3-2 win over Arsenal. 23 minutes past 6. We'll bring you some reaction to the day's football after Ryan Dobney and the news.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks very much, Mark. The Metropolitan Police say 355 people have been arrested during protests in London in support of the proscribed group Palestine Action. A number of people gathered for rallies in Manchester and the capital. The demonstrations went ahead despite calls to cancel them from Sir Keir Starmer and the police. President Trump is warning Hamas to move quickly and agree a peace deal with Israel. The comment came after Hamas say it's accepted parts of his peace plan, including the release of all hostages. White House officials are heading to Egypt for indirect talks between the sides in the coming days. A British teenager who was jailed in Dubai for having a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old girl when he was 18 has died in a car crash just 3 months after he was released from prison. Marcus Fakana was a passenger in a car that collided with another vehicle after a police pursuit in North London. And Harrods is setting aside more than £60 million to compensate alleged victims of historical abuse by its late owner Mohammed Al Fayed. More than 100 employees are expected to claim up to £385,000 each.
On BBC Sounds. Savings, credit cards, car finance reclaiming, insurance, investing, power of attorney, decision, indecision, analysis paralysis. Don't panic. The Martin Lewis podcast is now twice weekly, helping you navigate our complex consumer world. In one, I'll walk you through a big money-saving topic step by step. Then, in the new Question Time, you set the agenda and ask whatever's on your mind, within reason. The Martin Lewis podcast, now twice weekly. Listen on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sports with Mark Chapman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Chelsea a goal up on Liverpool at the break. Second half on the way here on 5 Live. Still goalless in the Edinburgh derby between Hearts and Hibs. Arsenal went top of the table earlier as they beat West Ham 2-0 in Mikel Arteta's 300th game in charge of the club. He's been talking to John Southall.
And Mikel, that rounded off a pretty good week, didn't it?
A massive week, I would say. Two very tough matches against Newcastle Olympiacos. That has taken a lot of energy out of us. But we discussed that after doing that, today was the day to capitalize in what we've done the last 2 months, because we had some very difficult fixtures, some big injuries. On top of that, a lot of players that have managed because they were coming from long-term surgeries as well. And overall, I think with today's win, we are in a really good position.
Your 300th appearance today, so I mean, good way to mark that. But how do you reflect on that time here?
Well, the first thing is gratitude. First of all, to ownership, then especially to my coaching staff. They've been with me since day one, through all the up and downs, and I know that I have the best people in the world next to me, and I really value them. And without them, it was impossible to do my job, and especially enjoy it. And after all, the players and the staff that have been since day one with us, inspiring me, helping me, making me a better coach, helping me to thrive in difficult moments as well. And then obviously to our supporters, that they've been always incredibly supportive with me, and 300 is a lot. So I just wanted to celebrate with a win. I've done it. We have the international break, so it's a good window now to put the brakes down a little bit and I start to prepare the next block.
Mason Mount got the first goal for Manchester United as they beat Sunderland 2-0. Here he is.
I thought we showed a lot of character today, obviously coming off a very tough result. Yeah, there was a lot of pressure on us. There's a lot of pressure on us every game, as you know. So, yeah, for us to get the win today was very important. I think we've been solid at home. So we're building that confidence, and the start of the game was so important to really come out sharp the first 5 minutes. And we did that, and we're very happy to get the 3 points. And then obviously moving into a bit of a break now, but we'll be focused to really improve as a team going into the next one.
When you say there's pressure on you every game, when there's noise around the football club, is it easy for you as players to blank that out?
Yeah, just don't look at it. just don't look. It's simple as that. We have to stay focused on what we do, what the manager wants us to do, the responsibilities that we have, and what he wants. That's the most important thing for us. We know as players how much it hurts when we lose games, when we don't perform to what we know we can. So we know exactly how it feels. We're there, so it hurts us when we come off a defeat and we've got a week before the next game. We're sitting on it, and you really have to look deep to really pull the character out of every single one of our players and the staff. But we've got it there. We showed today we can obviously come off a difficult game and perform, but we just need to do this consistently now. And I think we've got the players, we've got the team, we've got the staff to do that.
Mason Mount after Manchester United's 2-0 win over Sunderland. The game at Ellen Road at lunchtime finished Leeds 1, Tottenham 2. The first goal scored by Mattis Tell, and he's with Guy Mowbray.
Mattis, the first goal in the Premier League this season. How does it feel to be on the winning side here?
For sure, I'm very happy about my first goal, and I will say that with the team we work a lot this week, and I deserve this goal, and I'm very happy about it.
Deflected in? Was it on target? Was it going in anyway?
I had the opportunity to shoot, so I tried to shoot, and I scored, so very happy.
Any win away in the Premier League is a big win, but you seem to really keenly celebrate this one. How much does it mean to the team?
Because the opponent was very, very good today. It was a tough game for us because of the opponent, and yeah, we fight until the end, and we showed them big mentality, so that's why I think we deserve to win this game.
Thanks, Mattis.
Matisse Tell, who got Tottenham's first win in their 2-1 victory at Leeds, just the 4 Premier League games today. Plenty of stuff going on in the Championship and League One and League Two, though. Natalie and Chris here with 606 at the end of the game at Stamford Bridge.
Yes, and Chris Sutton, he's actually going to be here in the studio with me as well,
Where
Travis.
is he?
I think he's getting a sandwich after his work this afternoon.
Oh, right,
but
okay.
yeah, he swears he is going to be in the studio with me. It's very exciting. So if you'd like to...
For you.
If you'd like to speak to myself and Chris Sutton, it's 08085 909 693. So we want to hear from Liverpool fans. Are you nervous if you don't turn this game around? What's gone wrong? We want to hear from you. And of course, Chelsea fans, is Maresca your man? We're the board right to back him. 08085 909 693. Arsenal with a win today. Is it finally your year? We want to hear from optimistic Gunners fans. And of course, West Ham, can Nuno turn it around? We want to hear from you. 08085 909 693. 3 home wins in a row now for Manchester United. It was Amorim's 50th game in charge. So, Reds, are you seeing any progress? And I want to speak to WSL fans today. I was at the Manchester City Arsenal game earlier. Manchester City were phenomenal. So, City fans, can you do it? Can you finally break Chelsea's dominance of the WSL? And Arsenal fans, are you out of the title race after 5 games? 08085 909 693. And also Coventry fans, unbelievable in the Championship. 27 goals they've scored this season, 9 in 4 days. Is Frank Lampard going to return you to the promised land? We want to hear from you. 08085 909 693.
All I can say is good luck. Let's go to Tynecastle as we approach half-time there. Gavin.
Yeah, we're about 45 seconds away. We're a minute and a bit into the 2 minutes added on. Still 0-0. The best chances, as we said earlier, came to the Greek midfield. He's playing as a winger, Alexandros Kirizidis. Both whistled just by the woodwork on both occasions. But yeah, I'll say half-time. It's coming now, 0-0.
Thank you, Gavin. Second half, maybe a minute or so away at Stamford Bridge. It looks, John Murray, as though Liverpool are going to make a change.
Yeah, as flagged up by Pat just before the break, it looks as though it is going to be Wirtz coming on to replace Conor Bradley. I don't see him out there, so that, Pat, obviously means a switch from Szoboszlai back to right back.
Yeah, I wasn't being particularly clever there. He did exactly the same thing with Kirkes last week, or the other week there against Burnley. So, yeah, no surprise that change.
Chelsea just waiting for them. The Liverpool players are out there. Wirtz, who's about to come on as a substitute for the second time as a Liverpool player. He's just getting his final instructions. Arne Slot with the light from the floodlights glinting off the top of his head. Arm round his shoulder, gives him a pat on the back. Here come Chelsea. They come up the steps from the tunnel and pass underneath a banner that says World Champions on the top of the dugout. And there we see the number going up of Conor Bradley's number 12, who was booked in the first half, then put another challenge in on Garnacho, and therefore Arne Slot has made that decision. So Florian Wirtz, the number 7, is on. Chelsea's team as it started: Sanchez as the goalkeeper, then James, Achampong, Badiashile and Cucurella, Caicedo, the goal scorer, then Neto, Gusto, Fernandes and Garnacho, with João Pedro through the middle. And the Liverpool team now: Szoboszlai in position, yes he is, as the right back, Konate, Van Dijk and Kirkes in front of Mamadashvili, then Gravenberch, McAllister, Wirtz, Salah, Gakpo and Isak. Liverpool on the move, Wirtz with a flick across, Salah's leg, shoots wide, arriving on the corner of the 6-yard box, slightly stretching for it, and as he shot goalwards and wide, I think he caught Cucurella on his follow through. But chance not taken by Salah, first minute of the second half.
Yeah, it's throwing at his right foot, but he can usually do that. However, the touch by Wirtz is absolutely fabulous. What unbelievably good pass. Again, you'll see it match of the day. If you get a chance to see this pass, look at it. I mean, just the imagination. You put your body in that position, you make that pass. We can see the value in Florian Wirtz there, can't you?
Well, there was a bit of vision and a bit of talent in that one, wasn't there? Goodness me, that was a work of art. That could have been in the Met, where I was earlier this week. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0. Yeah, that's exactly what you need when people are questioning how quickly you're settling, something like that. Particularly if it had set up the goal, which it could easily have done, as Gakpo shoves over Reece James, and that's a free kick to Chelsea inside their own half.
They've had a few good clear-cut chances. I mean, Kirkes get through in the goalkeeper. Szoboszlai, I think he had one kicked off a line early in the first half, and now you're looking at Mo Salah getting a one-on-one with the goalkeeper, admittedly at a bit of an angle, but even so, is there anybody you know who's better from that sort of angle than Mo Salah usually? So for all Liverpool haven't been at their very best, they've still had some very good clear-cut chances.
Yes, when he's at his best, he's got an unerring knack. Mo Salah have been able to find the eye of the needle, hasn't he, in those sort of positions, but it wasn't this time. Ball is back with Mamadashvili, beaten only by that brilliant shot from Caicedo in the 15th minute of this match. A lovely goal that. Saw it time and again at half-time, although my suggestion that it might be the goal of the month has already been poo-pooed by you, Pat.
Yeah, I think Bournemouth have got a player who would claim he's played 2 or 3 and last night, I mean, certainly the third goal, the dribble along the byline and something up to Cena John, it's absolutely and utterly brilliant.
Yeah, well, they'll all be on Match of the Day tonight, as that's rather an awkward clearance from Achapong, who's off balance and just sliced it straight out of play. The Liverpool supporters there, they know their team need them here. Liverpool facing the possibility of 3 defeats in a row after 7 wins in a row. Now possibly 3 defeats in a row, but there's a long way to go. And Liverpool with Szoboszlai back to Konate, still 10 yards inside the Chelsea half as Liverpool attack towards the shed end as the ball is passed in field by Salah, but that's easy for Chelsea to clear on the edge of the box. Badiashile passing it away. Now it's with Gusto in this midfield position for Chelsea today, with James at right back. James coming up to join him, groans because Gusto wasn't able to take it on, and this Chelsea attack has sort of ground to a halt from quite a promising position. Here is Caicedo, the goal scorer, then Reece James. Gusto back all the way in Liverpool. Chelsea are actually going to go all the way back towards their goalkeeper Sanchez, just out of his penalty area at the shed end. Walked around the back of there on the way into the ground today. I have to say, I always think this, the way that they've kept the back of the old shed, the shed wall, and they've got all of the pictures of so many of the great Chelsea players up there. It is it's like a Chelsea museum there.
There is one round the other side of the ground, actually, museum, but you're right, it does look good, and it's been there for quite a long time. I'm mildly surprised that the new owners haven't adapted it.
With ivy creeping up the wall as well. Ball played forward by James, and Kirkes is able to catch that well ahead of Pedro Neto. So Liverpool go back to Mamadashvili. Arsenal now top of the table after their win in our 3 o'clock commentary this afternoon. In fact, we're bringing you commentary on 8 of the Premier League matches this weekend. Really busy day tomorrow. Join us from that with Steve Crossman. 5 Live's Premier League Sunday from 12 o'clock tomorrow. The 5 Live commentaries: Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, and then Brentford, Manchester City. So that's for you tomorrow afternoon. The Singapore Grand Prix will be on Sports Extra. We'll have commentary on the Arc as well, as Liverpool have the ball with Konate just in front of the penalty area. Ekitike is on the bench. Isak has been quiet, just that one chance from that brilliant cross from Salah late in the first half, as Liverpool, Wirtz is appealing for a handball and referee Anthony Taylor agrees, so it's a free kick to Liverpool inside their own half. 1-0 Chelsea lead, 5 minutes played in the second half. Lines open for 606. If you've been at a match this afternoon, give Natalie Pike and Chris Sutton a call. 08085 909 693. It's free from mobiles and landlines. Ball forward now for Isak to chase up against Cucurella. Does well actually to keep it in. Hooks it infield. Did score the last 2 times he's been here with Newcastle, Isak, but in the end Chelsea win it back. But Isak challenges Garnacho, no free kick. Got Gravenberch, low shot from him, but straight at Sanchez, who's able to drop forward onto his knees and gather the ball securely up into his chest.
Good work there by Isak. He's having to get work and getting the ball himself. He's not getting played in often enough by his teammates, and that's why he probably looks at Wirtz coming on and thinking, can I build a relationship with you? And if he can do, that could be special.
Joao Pedro is able to break away from the halfway line, still going. Right foot shot actually hits Van Dijk on the edge of the penalty area. It did open up from there though, the space, and then Neto can't find the pass to James, and Kirkes just steps forward, cuts out the pass, then with his left foot the Hungarian international, up towards Isak, but it bounces off him, bounces back to him, and all he can do is knock it out of play for a throw on the halfway line.
Well, everybody's watching Neto, and he tried to play the ball to Reece James, who overlapped. Had he got his head up and looked in the middle, he had two players unmarked. One of them, João Pedro, and the other one was Gusto, and both of them were in unmarked around about the 18-yard line. But he didn't get his head up and look, and that's why there were huge groans around the ground, because that was a chance.
Here's Garnacho on the left-hand side. He's up against Szoboszlai now, who's able to get a touch on that. He was very tight on him, Szoboszlai, on Garnacho. Centre field, McAllister just lifts a pass forward and it bounces into the space in front of Salah, who's onto this, comes inside, Badiashile, left foot shot, flies away over the top left corner into the Liverpool fans, actually in the lower tier of the shed stand, but there's warm applause there for Liverpool's intent, if not for the finish.
Yeah, I mean, when he's explosive, he is explosive, and he gets the ball there, he's run from the halfway line, and you know, actually, probably 3, 4, 5 seconds before he actually gets the shot away, what he's going to do. He comes across the 18-yard line. Chelsea know he's going to do that, so they're pushing further along. All the time the angle's disappearing, and he can't quite get it on target. And now Chelsea, this should be a big concern for Chelsea, and the fact that their centre backs are going down constantly like flies. Is that? I'm trying to see if it's Badiashile. The whole group of players around him.
Yeah, who has sat down inside the penalty area, and the Chelsea medical men are on, and they are communicating with the rest of the staff on the side of the pitch in what is this season the Chelsea coaching anoraks, which are a very sort of dirty grey, aren't they? Sort of faded grey padded jackets, and there's lots of head scratching going on down there, which kind of suggests to me that they think Badiashile is not going to be able to continue here.
Yeah, and I mean, a real concern, as I say, longer term for Chelsea, they're going through these centre backs, Fofana, Colville, Tosin, as you mentioned before, and then if he can't make it here and can't play on, I mean, there's lots of options. You actually can play Caicedo centre back, you can play Reece James as centre back, right centre back, no problem whatsoever. You can do that, but
yeah, they're going to make a change, Pat. And actually Liverpool are going to make a double change as well. Robertson and Jones are coming on for Liverpool. Interesting time for Arne Slot to do that. 10 minutes gone in the second half.
I mean, it sounds as if I'm being slightly biased because of the Scottishness. I don't think Kirkes has done enough to replace Robertson yet. Yet he always seems to be getting that chance. So we shall see if Robertson comes on there and he can make some sort of effect in the game going forward that Kirkes has only once been able to do in the game so far.
Well, it is Romeo Lavia coming on for Chelsea for what is only his second appearance of the season. If you know anything about Chelsea, you know what a rough time he's had with injuries. And so Kirkes is off, of course, with Robertson coming on, and the other change sees Konate being withdrawn for Liverpool. So Curtis Jones and Robertson coming on, and Virgil van Dijk is just now in discussions with Gravenberch and Szoboszlai. So it would appear that Gravenberch is going to play alongside Van Dijk in central defence, Pat.
Well, both central defensive areas have really been mixed up, and of course when Chelsea are doing that because they've got an injury, I don't think Konate's injured.
Well, he ran off the pitch.
Exactly. And it may well be that there's a temptation that Liverpool maybe try to go to a back three, try to be a wee bit more positive, because Chelsea are very cleverly keep on talking about this 4-1-4-1 they've played, because they get 4-1 then 4 in front, i.e. 2 central midfield players. It has killed the ability for Liverpool to get their players like Gravenberch and McAllister on the ball. Because they can't get on the ball, they can't control the game. So tactically at the moment,
James was in trouble there, miscontrolled the ball, and then he clattered into the challenge, but against Gakpo, referee Taylor allows play to continue. They're both okay. It was one of those where I did wonder for a moment that one of them might have come off badly, but they're okay. Liverpool with it on the left-hand side. We're going to go to the Super League playoff semi-final when we get a chance, but Chelsea breaking away. That's one very well back by Jones, though. Just whipped it away, dragged it away from the path of Neto and took it on into centre field. Left out of the England squad yesterday by Thomas Tuchel, but mentioned in dispatches Curtis Jones, and that's a poor pass from McAllister, straight out of play for a throw-in to Chelsea. So let's get the latest from Chris Cooper.
It's game on, John. Hull KR 12, St Helens 6 from absolutely nothing. Dion Cross has scored St Helens' first try of the night. First time they'd even got within 10 yards of the Rovers line. Johnny Lomax has popped over the extras as well. Just one score in it now, 12-6.
In the Prem, it's now Saracens 31, Bristol 0. That's the latest score. That was a 5:25 kickoff. As long pass from Sancho downfield, brilliant touch from Garnacho, takes it into the penalty area and squares it across the box, and there's no one there to get a touch. Joao Pedro was the closest, not able to. It's actually been collected again for Chelsea by Pedro Neto. Neto on his left foot, Lavia, then in comes the challenge for Liverpool to win it back. And they lose it. Gakpo dispossessed by Gusto, and then a heavy touch from Fernandes. Liverpool played for Szoboszlai. This is for Salah to chase, but Sanchez is right on the edge of his penalty area, and the Chelsea goalkeeper can collect.
But how noticeable! It only took one pass straight over Szoboszlai's head, because as a midfielder, you have to get your positions right when you play right full-back. You cannot step a yard out of place. If you get it wrong, the winger's away, and it's a specialist position. He's completely caught out of position there, and Garnacho's done well, but should have done even better than that and picked out a blue shirt in the centre when he put it in.
So Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0, and we have James and Achampong as the Chelsea central defenders, and Gravenberch and Van Dijk as the Liverpool central defenders. As that's a nice touch by Wirtz. He spun away there from Caicedo, but Lavia is able to win it back for Chelsea. And now Enzo Fernandez sets off forward, gives it actually into the path of Cucurella, who passes it forward to Garnacho on the left wing. Garnacho back to the overlapping Cucurella to the byline. Here comes the cross, and it's headed over by Pedro Neto at the back post via a deflection off the head of Robertson for a Chelsea corner.
Chelsea know, they absolutely know there's a problem in the right back area for Liverpool. Now you can see, I'm actually looking at Szoboszlai there, he's saying, is anyone going to come and help me at some point in time? That's twice since he's gone back to right full back there that he's been basically destroyed by Chelsea going down there. He was 2v1 on that occasion, but Chelsea can smell a weakness there.
Liverpool vulnerable some set pieces this season. A corner to our right, and just see through the gap a purpley sunset away in the distance across West London as the corner is taken by Pedro Neto to the near post, and it's headed away by Virgil van Dijk for Liverpool. Chelsea still lead by 1-0. We are almost an hour into the match now, and Chelsea scored after 15 minutes. Lines open for 606 on 08085 909 693, hashtag BBC 606, text 85058 at your standard message rate. Match of the day tonight, and also on BBC Sounds, the new football interview this week is with Liverpool's Hugo Ekitike. So search Football Daily on the BBC Sounds app and you will find that. As Chelsea play it out from Sanchez, Gravenberch just hoists it up in the air almost to our eye level, headed forward by Van Dijk. That's taken down by Caicedo, who picks out the pass to Cucurella, hair flying. He then stops, passes it infield to Fernandes. Now here's Lavia as well. I suppose the introduction of Lavia, and okay, yes, they've lost one of the central defenders, but now you've got Lavia and Caicedo as the two in central midfield with Gusto at right back. Liverpool win it back. Wirtz, then the ball infield from Robertson. That's just presented it back to Chelsea again, and the Chelsea fans are urging their team on. They want a second goal here, they want a bit of security. Fernandes to Garnacho beats Szoboszlai, still in possession but running actually right across the field into the middle of the Liverpool half, and then forward from Gusto, turned out to the right hand side to Pedro Neto, left-footed ball into the box towards the back post, and it is cleared away of a fashion by Szoboszlai. Well, Enzo Fernandez was arriving there, and Szoboszlai, I think, was a little fortunate.
He was incredibly fortunate. He didn't look behind him. Fernandez came in right behind him there. He left it, and it just went through Enzo Fernandez's leg there. If you're a full-back, you need to remember it's behind you. He didn't. I love Szoboszlai as a player. I'm not over-impressed with him as a right full-back, as you can probably tell.
I think he just got a touch. He was looking to sweep it away, and I think he maybe just got a little touch, which meant that it hit Fernandez and bounced behind. Into the last half hour of this match, with Arsenal now at the top of the table. Chelsea leading Liverpool here by 1-0. The champions facing another defeat. Szoboszlai though to the byline, flicks it in. Chance, Gakpo scores in the 6-yard box. Took his chance and Liverpool are level. And it was Szoboszlai, the stand-in right back there, surging forward, who put in the cross, and Cody Gakpo with the finish in the 6-yard box, and it's Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1.
Well, first of all, Szoboszlai, who's basically taken apart as a defensive player in the second half, put him up front in the right wing position almost. Brilliant. Gets to the byline, creates the goal. It's him completely who creates the goal. Good ball he puts in there. Trying to see if it was Isak whose first touch brings it down beautifully right onto the foot of Gakpo. He's only a couple of yards out. He can scarcely miss that one, and he has roofed it from 5 yards. Well, that's a bit of a relief for Liverpool, because to be fair, they could have been 3-0 down at the start of the second half.
They could. Yeah, crucial little touch from Isak in there. That was certainly a contribution, with his back to goal, just a touch, and it fell perfectly into the path of Gakpo, arriving on the edge of the 6-yard box, as you say, Pat, to roof it into the Chelsea net, and it is all square now, and beautifully poised for the remainder of this match.
You get a feeling both teams are going to go for it though. It is one of those ones. Time in the past you thought, either or possibly both might think, yeah, a punch, not bad, it's good enough. Doesn't look like that with these two teams. I think they both feel as if A, they have to win it, and B, they fancy they can.
Yeah, and Chelsea having to make the change in central defence, where the injuries have really hit them despite the size of their squad, with James and Acheampong. And Acheampong had to change position as well, didn't he, from the right-sided central defender to left-sided, and Liverpool have found a way through.
Don't think I would question the centre-backs there. I think just a really good overlap from Szoboszlai from the right back area, got into a good position. And, it's really changed it there, because he wants to play forward, and you look at him, he's nowhere near marking as a right back now. He's dumping Garnacho, so he's saying, like, okay, I'm not going to do that, we'll need to go man for man at the back. So that's very positive for Liverpool.
That is Pat Nevin with us here on BBC Radio 5 Live, twice Chelsea's Player of the Year, Scotland international, and you were with Liverpool in midweek when they weren't able to come up with the equaliser in what you told me was the loudest atmosphere that you've ever heard in a football ground.
Exactly.
Galatasaray.
Absolutely. And that's quite a big call to make. I mean, you think of all the Everton, Liverpool's, all the derbies you get in London, Scotland, England games, Celtic, Rangers, European Cup games at Celtic Park, all those things. I think that noise the other night just about topped them all. It's incredible.
I saw Ian yesterday, and Ian Dennis, and he said more or less the same thing. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1. Just seen a little replay of the goal. I don't think we can understate Isak's role in that. Here's Garnacho into the Liverpool penalty area, across the box, but cleared away by Andy Robertson, who was standing in front of Pedro Neto. And
I love this risk reward, John, because Szoboszlai's getting beat every time, but he also can do things going forward.
Vert rolls the ball into the space. Salah is onto this. Salah on his left foot. Oh, he's got it all wrong. And actually, well, the flag has the flag on it.
Yeah, he was offside. I'm absolutely convinced he was offside.
There it is, the flag goes.
I mean, Chelsea, to be fair, it's a very open game, and it's the kind of game, if you're a neutral, you're loving, because it is now open. You have no idea what way this game's going to go now. It looks like Chelsea have got another player gone down injured. They're not acting.
Is it Acheampong?
It can't be another centre back.
That is incredibly unlucky.
If it is the lefty stick, possibly Lavia back there. Possibly Caicedo could play in there.
It is. It's Acheampong who's down, who's sitting with his legs wide apart, and the Chelsea medical people arrive. And now, if before Enzo Maresca and his coaches looked exasperated, then times that by 3. He's pacing around with his hands in his pockets. So we've got a stoppage. Let's see what the latest is in that big game in the Premiership. Hearts, Hibs, Gavin Wallace.
52 on the clock, John. It's still 0-0 at the moment. Story of the first half is the same as the second. Both teams still trying to take control of this. There was a lot of meat, but not much in the way of bones, and it stays that way, 0-0.
And from Edinburgh to the Super League playoff, Chris Cooper.
Still Hull KR 12, St Helens 6. St Helens getting right back into it with that try, but giving away a couple of silly penalties. But Rhys Martin's not been able to capitalise. He went for the 2, didn't get them. Still 12-6 Rovers.
In the Prem, Saracens 38, Bristol 5. In the National League, Scunthorpe 0, Carlisle 1, the latest score. And yes, Pat Acheampong cannot complete the match. He's having to be substituted. Chelsea have now lost both of their central defenders in this match, with a long list of central defenders already on the injured list.
Well, the 2 that started were probably choices 4 and 5. 1, 2 and 3 been injured. So that's 4 and 5 out now. Now what they've brought in now is Hatto is going to play, I would say, left centre-back. Now he's capable of doing that, but he's very young. And there have been a couple of mistakes when he's had his little chances so far. But you've now got him and Reece James as the centre-backs. Isak must think, well, give me a chance. Give me the ball. I'll find out if these two can play together.
Yep, the Dutch international Jarell Hatto has come on to play alongside James. Chelsea with Gusto. Gusto's ball into the box. Took a flick off a head. Bounces down for Garnacho. Garnacho then back out of the box to Cucurella. And Garnacho is forced away by Szoboszlai. And back to the halfway line. And the newly arrived Hatto plays it to James. And it goes all the way back to goalkeeper Sanchez. Frustration there, and in fact the pass out, Lavia was in danger of losing it. Actually, Liverpool's goal scorer Gakpo does have it back in the central third. Now Andy Robertson tears forward down the left, his ball into the box. That is intercepted by James. Then a challenge by Gusto on Robertson inside the box. I think he got enough of the ball there, but the Liverpool fans at that end thought for a moment that could have been a penalty. Chelsea though take it away over the halfway line. Pedro Neto, there's space there for Cucurella. Cucurella immediately looks to Garnacho. He's up against Szoboszlai. Garnacho, low ball to Fernandes on the edge of the box. Enzo Fernandez. The Chelsea man's gone down inside the penalty area, holding his head. It's Pedro Neto. Still play continues. VAR will be having a look at that. And then Lavia's pass. Actually, Hatto will do well to keep that in. He does. And Chelsea go back to the halfway line. And Pedro Neto is now back on his feet. He's using his shirt sleeve to wipe his nose, perhaps, and suggesting that he was caught by a flailing Liverpool arm in the box.
Well, he's not having a complaint at any particular player, so you wonder if that was one of those ones where just running when you hit each other. We didn't see it. No doubt I'm not seeing any signs that they're having a look at it with the VAR yet.
Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1, and Natalie Pike and Chris Sutton are waiting for your calls on 606 08 085 909 693 to join in with the programme. Here is João Pedro, but his pass forward is deflected, actually hit McAllister. That took it away all the way through to Mamadashvili to pick it up. So Chelsea took the lead in the first half through Caicedo, but Cody Gakpo equalising just past the hour mark, and this match is poised at 1-1. Lovely pass forward for Jones to run onto. Gravenberg with the initial pass. Jones then to Salah on the right hand side. A cross with the outside of his boot. Jones tries to get his head to it. Flicked away to Gakpo. Still inside the Chelsea box. It's laid up to McAllister, who drives it, but that's blocked inside the penalty area. Back to McAllister, who overhits it through for a goal kick.
Brilliant. I mean, Chelsea attacking with 3 players there in the Liverpool box. I would say about 6 seconds later, there's a half chance there for Liverpool. Well blocked down there. McAllister caught that one very, very well. But there's masses of space out there. How many times over the last 5, 6, 7 years have we gone to see games in the Premier League and there's no space? And it's a bit dull and it's a bit dry. There's so many open games at the moment, and this is absolutely one of them.
So 1-1. As we said before the match, 2 teams playing in this match who certainly don't want to lose this, and it's level at 1-1. but they are going for it. Cucurella now as Chelsea launch another attack. Garnacho back to Cucurella, cross comes back, ball all the way across the box, but Robertson was there. Actually, João Pedro was challenged by Van Dijk, went down, but again, shouts for a penalty in the stands, but not on the pitch. Now a pass over the top for Liverpool. This is the stereotypical end-to-end match, and Vert allows the ball to run to Salah, and then Salah back to the halfway line.
What a shame for Vert. In a great position there, but he's basically thought, Salah's the main man, I need to let him get it. And because that happened, it slowed all the play down. Salah's a wee bit further behind, and it just kills all the momentum.
And of course, what they know, I say it's 1-1, probably at the end of the match. 1-1 would be deemed as a good result, but the players on the pitch know that both oppositions have got makeshift defences. Van Dijk, so it's worth having a go. Reece James tangles with Isak, who goes down inside the box. Well, the Liverpool fans are howling and saying that James fouled him, hold him over. James gets to his feet, motions that Isak should get up. He's still on the ground. Anthony Taylor's not interested.
Well, he's not interested, but that's not the important part. The VAR interested.
Well, should they be?
Well, it looked like from where we were, lots of flailing arms.
It's a tangle of flailing arms.
Yeah.
And I mean, an arm does catch Isak in the face. Yeah. Reece James is going to walk over to him now and offer him a hand to help him up, which he kind of reluctantly takes, and he's hauled to his feet.
What? Liverpool didn't get a penalty. It did get a penalty given against them in Europe for an incredibly similar thing, Galatasaray. And it's a difference between, what you get in Europe and what you get in the Premier League. That is so like the penalty was given against Liverpool. It's incredibly like it.
That is going to be the last action for Alexander Isak, and he's booed off by the Chelsea supporters. And Ekitike, who it sounded as though he was out of this match yesterday, Hugo Ekitike. Here he comes running onto the field. So Isak off. How do you feel he did today generally, Pat?
It's hard. He didn't get a lot of the ball. I have to say, not enough of the ball for him to make a huge difference to the game. But his little touches are brilliant, like they always are. So very, very impressive for the little touches he gets. He will get better, there's no doubt.
We're going to see a triple change for Chelsea. The teenager Mark Guillot is going to come on for João Pedro, so the number 38 takes his place up front, and that is Garnacho being replaced by Jamie Gittins, another of the summer arrivals, one replacing the other. A double change it is, not a triple change. So Jamie Gittins runs over there to the far side, signed from Borussia Dortmund for in the region of £50 million. I haven't counted it up, but there are an awful lot of...
By the way, did you mention Esteval for Neto?
No, I didn't. So it was a triple change.
It was a triple change.
Pedro Neto off, and Esteval is on. The number 41, the 18-year-old Brazilian international, who also, if all of the clauses come together, will cost over £50 million. 50 million plus players everywhere you look on the pitch.
If you're a winger these days, you're plus 50 million.
It's the going rate. So the number 41 is on. First time I've seen him live, Pat. Looking forward to this. As Chelsea, I know he's very much your cup of tea. Lavia, here he is for the first time, and you can feel the expectation inside Stamford Bridge. The Chelsea fans, there's that lovely lift of a sort of wow noise. Gusto back to Esteval, turns full 360 degrees, curls it in, attempted flick, but that's blocked by the Liverpool defender. Then it comes off Robertson. Lavia putting him under pressure, and it's a corner to Chelsea. 1-1 the score.
I'm so delighted you heard that noise, and it is a really special noise you get when certain types of players get the ball. These Chelsea fans have seen little bits of it, and they know what he's capable of. Esteval. So do Liverpool, by the way. They're banked up 2-1 against them.
Yeah, corner is taken short by Chelsea. It's given back to Esteval, and this willowy young man looks to cross it, which he does, into Robertson, which deflects it straight behind for another corner. So João Pedro.
It's a whole front line. It's a whole front line. Neto, João Pedro and Garnacho all go off. youngsters coming on. Well, that shows
That's
you a
the
lot of
Chelsea
belief.
thing. Here's Estevao again after the corner was taken short once more. They did work brilliantly, didn't they? One corner in the first half that Garnacho
fantastic.
went close from it.
Absolutely fantastic block corner.
Given away by Estevao, and now passed forward for Liverpool by Gakpo, but Cucurella is able to dispossess Wirtz, and then Estevao goes down. Thought that was a foul by Gakpo. Referee Taylor doesn't give it. Ball bounces away over to the far side, and Fernandes is able to keep the ball in, waggles his foot over the ball, Cristiano Ronaldo style, before he passes it infield. The score is 1-1. We're into the last 15 minutes of this match now, and they are going for it, these two teams. There'll be plenty to talk about with Natalie Pike and Chris Sutton on 085 909 693 on 606. Robertson dispossesses Estevao. Now Robertson sets off forward, goes for an early pass right across the penalty area. Salas chasing this, bounces down in the Chelsea left back area, and Cucurella in the end finds it bouncing up in front of him, and he whacks it into the stand.
This is so Mo Salah, isn't it? He did very little in the first half. He wasn't chasing back, he wasn't using his energy, and now he thinks, right, okay, I've conserved, I'm going to have a go at it now. And you can see that he's got much more energy than you think he had, because he was just waiting for the space to open up, and it has to some degree.
Do you know, I think it might have been when one of the penalty shouts took place. I looked at the screen here, and the camera's focused on a woman as Liverpool play it forward, but it's cut out by Gusto, who's able to carry the ball forward, and then past infield. Fernandes slides in. Szoboszlai, he blasts the ball into Cucurella from close range, and he goes down. I mean, he kicked the ball. They're right, it was sort of impact at the same time. Szoboszlai's kick, ball, Cucurella, and it's a yellow card, and I think that has been shown to Szoboszlai because of excessive force.
Well, if he gets the ball there, it just looks like a tackle to me. Again, we'll see it. The referee's close to it there. Yeah, he's almost... That's not a tackle. He's actually like a shot. To be honest, he absolutely has not touched Cucurella there. He's got the ball clean. Now, Cucurella may well have twisted his ankle as he got the ball, but Szoboszlai's just kicked the ball. I think that's an extraordinarily harsh yellow card for Szoboszlai.
Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1. So did you see who the woman was? At the point where I wanted to see a replay of the incident, there was an urgency to show this woman in the stand. And it turns out it's Madonna.
Oh, really?
Madonna at Stamford Bridge. Here is Lavia. Lavia passing the ball. Here's Gittins. Jamie Gittins up against Szoboszlai. He's the latest man to try to... In fact, Fernandez's ball across, deflected all the way across the face of goal. Then Gravenberch got a touch on that. It could easily have deflected in. In fact, it deflected across the 6-yard box and behind for another corner to Chelsea.
John, every time Chelsea go down the left, they get to the byline, they get a cross in. Every single time.
Corner is taken short again, though. And here is Estevao. Estevao with the ball at his feet. And behind him, it is Caicedo, who tries to take it round the outside but loses out, and good work by Ekitike, who is able to get a deflection on that, and it's out of play for a throw-in to Liverpool. Back to the Super League playoff semi-final. Chris Cooper.
Hulkingston Rovers sensing victory, 16-6. Another try, this time from Oliver Gildart, following a long kick down the left-hand side. Long delay while the video referee confirmed it. The extra's not added. 16-6.
Commentary on Sports Extra. Gakpo down the left wing into the box, then lays it back to the edge of the area. Ekitike's shot was blocked. Szoboszlai's shot is blocked. Might bounce for Wirtz. Wirtz now passes it straight to opponent Lavia, who's able to clear it out for a throw on the far side.
Again, your heart's in your mouth if you're a Chelsea fan, because they looked in a brilliant position seconds ago. Liverpool break, but they just can't seem to get a break. With good closing down by the Chelsea defenders, but Wirtz very disappointing with his pass on that occasion.
Saracens 43, Bristol 5 is the latest score in the Prem. Ekitike on the edge of the area sets it up. Wirtz clips it across. Now Gakpo inside the box, back to the edge of the penalty area, ran away from Wirtz. Heavy touch. Chelsea were able to clear. It's still 1-1 here at Stamford Bridge on 5 Live. in the last 10 minutes of this Premier League match. And all eyes on the action. It is a very good spectacle. Van Dijk to Robertson. If you asked me to put my neck on the line, Pat, I would be saying it's going to finish 1-1, but
with Liverpool's results in the late goals.
Well, here's Gakpo down the left, challenged by Gusto. I thought that might have been a foul, but he came out with the ball. Anthony Taylor says no, and he wins a throw in the Chelsea right back area. Yes, in Liverpool's matches so far this season, from the 83rd minute onwards, there have been 8 goals in all competitions.
Do you know what? It's really interesting to see that tackle. Again, he's gone over. Is it Slots got a yellow card on this occasion? But he's gone in there. He has got a little bit of the ball, and then the Liverpool player goes over the top of him. From the referee's point of view, and absolutely accept that. Modern football, modern Premier League, they usually get a free kick for that. He's allowing it to flow a bit, isn't he?
Yep. Slot's second yellow card of the season. He was booked at Crystal Palace last Saturday afternoon. Maresca, when he got his in the first half, that's 3 for him in all competitions. Chelsea attack with Estevao. Estevao manages to find the ball infield. Fernandes tried to let it go. It might have run to Gittins. It got a touch though from Van Dijk. Now Chelsea have got it back again inside their own half and start once more with Gusto, the player that is. And back to Hearts, Hibs, Gavin Wallace.
Oh, John, I thought we were getting into the groove there. It's still 0-0. Martin Boyle was through 1-on-1. He put it into the back of the net, but it was offside. Hearts 0, Hibs 0.
Yes, we got the Madonna.
Gavin's been sitting there waiting for that one. Here's Gittins attacking down the left-hand side in front of the watching Madonna, and then shoots goalwards, and Mamadashvili rather spectacularly dives to his left and pushes it away. Comes out to Estevao. Estevao back into the box, curls it goalwards. Might have been creeping in. Mamadashvili diving to his right this time. Got those orange gloves with it to make sure it didn't. Corner.
So old school this, isn't it? Just love it. One side to the other side.
Madonna's here, Pat.
Oh yes, I know. But apparently she's a true blue.
Oh dear me.
I wish I could tell you who I stole that from.
Well, I suspect I know. Phil is sitting. Phil Zentner to our left. Well done, Phil. He's got his hood pulled down, but I can see his teeth laughing. It's a corner then to Chelsea. 1-1. Here comes the corner into the 6-yard box. Mamadashvili gets a punch on it, which takes it out of the penalty area to the right-hand side. Gusto back in possession. Back to James, but the pass was slightly astray, so it goes all the way back to the halfway line. Of course, the stars of stage and screen have traditionally come here, haven't they? Gusto, forward to Estevao inside the box. Lovely footwork on his left foot. Still going, plays it back out, and then the offside flag is up, and Estevao puts his palms apart, as if to say, if I'd known the flag was going to come up, I wouldn't have tried all of those tricks.
To be honest, again, it's been a really entertaining game. The fact that Chelsea are playing a much more open game now with just the one sitting midfielder, it's a big reason why this game has been more open and has allowed space for the players to, show the skills a little bit more.
Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1. Oh, given away by Gravenberch. Estevao, now the chance for Guiu, but it ran away from him with the touch, and Mamadashvili slid out and was able to collect it quite comfortably, actually. And now Liverpool on the move again. We're into the last 5 minutes now, but Gakpo played a pass for the run that never came from Robertson, but he's not given this up, and he has won it back. Robertson on the dead ball line. Gakpo with a cross, but poor. Easy catch for goalkeeper Sanchez.
That's unusual from Caicedo there. He thought he was going to be strong enough, but he wanted it enough, Robertson.
Chelsea now, here they come. That's asking a lot of Gittins. I'm not sure he's going to reach it. No, the pass forward from Fernandes. He apologises, just put too much on it, and it bounces through in between the stewards, who are sitting there in their yellow and orange jackets, which gives you an indication that we're not far away from the end of this match, and the score level at 1-1. So 606 not far away. 08085 909 693 to join in with Natalie Pike and Chris Sutton. Still Hearts 0, Hibs 0. Endo's coming on to replace McAllister in the midfield. So I think that gives you a little bit of an indicator of how Arne Slot is thinking.
Well, a couple of things. McAllister, he's trying to protect him a bit. He needs a little bit of rest. He was saying that over in Istanbul during the week there. He's had to use him for 80 odd minutes. But he's not really had that much of a massive effect in games like he has in the past in controlling them. And that may well be because of who he's playing against, but also may well be he's not quite 100% right yet.
Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1. And all of tomorrow's matches you'll be able to hear in one place or another. The Premier League matches, all of the top sport covered, as Cucurella is fouled by Salah, so there's a cheer of that's a little win. Free kick to Chelsea inside their own half. And Newcastle, Nottingham Forest from 2, and Brentford, Manchester City from 4:30 are the 5 live commentary matches, but the commentary on all of them someplace or other, whether it's Sports Extra 2, or indeed via the BBC website and app. 1-1. Long pass forward from James, headed forward by Robertson. Gakpo, the Liverpool goal scorer, his second goal of the season, but a lovely little touch from Isak to set it up after the cross from Szoboszlai. Ball out of play for a throw-in on the halfway line. Gusto gets it back after taking the throw and will go all the way back to Hato, who's under pressure here. Hato had to stand up there, which he does, and then takes it away. Well played under pressure. Passes it forward to Lavia, and Lavia's ball through the left-hand side. Giddens could be in, but the first touch was really poor, and Szoboszlai was able to get back, take the ball away, and it was cleared out of play on the far side.
One of those brilliant moments. Hato was under pressure. He drew in 5 players and took them all out of play, hence the space that developed for Chelsea.
Yeah, they come again though, Chelsea, but that attempted cross was blocked by the recently arrived substitute Endo. Then it's won back on the edge of the area by Hato. Hato's ball into the box for Chelsea, looking for Guiu. It's cleared away. Caicedo's going to have another goal, and it flies over the top of the crossbar. Mamadashvili got a touch to it with his fingertips, wasn't 100% sure, helped it over. Corner Chelsea.
You and I come to this place now and again. I come here with Deno quite a bit, and quite often the last few minutes you see lots of people leaving. I haven't seen anyone leaving this one with a minute and a half to go.
No, well, the Chelsea fans and the Liverpool fans are not the best of friends, are they? This rivalry that's been set up, if you're a supporter of theirs, you want to see a winning goal if it comes. Here's the corner, which is cleared away at the near post for Liverpool. But Chelsea again, the corner taker, Estevao, back to James. James curls it in nicely, headed goalwards, but caught by Mamadashvili, diving to his right. Back to the Super League playoff, Chris Cooper.
Hull KR fans can start to think about Old Trafford. 24-6 they now lead St Helens, subject to the video referee's review of a Burgess try. It looked good to me. Oliver Gildart, though, his try definitely counted. Martin couldn't add the extras. It's either 26 or it's been disallowed. It's Hull KR 20, St Helens 6. They still need 3 scores.
Commentary on Sports Extra. Liverpool quick breakaway, Pat. Salah set up Szoboszlai on the edge of the area, but a weak shot actually went wide.
Well, he had run the entire length of the pitch from right back there, but it was another very good chance. Just a few moments.
Long pass forward, looking for the run of Estevao, but too close to Mamadashvili, and Estevao has smuggled it out of the grasp of Mamadashvili, so that's a free kick. Also, Enzo Fernandez is down, and getting back to his feet. Ball forward for Ekitike, but that is covered by Hato and headed back to his goalkeeper. And 7 minutes of added time. Well, there have been obviously plenty of substitutions and a couple of injuries. Bayern Munich are on the way to victory. Luis Diaz has scored a second goal. Harry Kane got the other one. They're 3-0 up at Frankfurt. And Chelsea with Jamie Gittens passing the ball across the pitch to Gusto. Several Chelsea players out there have played in a variety of positions during the course of this match. I suppose the same applies to Liverpool as well. Lavia, forward from him. Now here is Estevao again. Estevao up against Andy Robertson. Goes for the early cross this time. Oh, it's headed wide by the arriving Fernandez. He had to adjust, and because of that, he couldn't head it on target. Headed it wide from 6 yards.
How many times? Again, Szoboszlai. You have to keep your eyes behind you. You know, if you're right full-back, you're not looking at the ball coming in, you're looking at who's running in behind you. And it just runs straight past Szoboszlai and gets a completely free header. Oh. Well, I was talking earlier to two fullbacks, one of them being Graham Lasso beforehand. He knew how to do that job. He's quite specialised. You need to keep your eyes open.
Yeah, and he was he just mistimed the run past him. Otherwise,
lovely ball in,
clipped the outside of the post.
Yeah, lovely ball in by Estevao, though. Very difficult to defend.
Yeah, it was. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1. We're in 7 minutes of added time. We'll wrap things up. Then 606 08 085 909 693. Fernandez. Oh no, he tried to adjust his body, pass it forward for Gittins, and then overhit the pass.
Oh, he's blaming Gittins there. Absolutely not.
Gittins had latched onto that. That would have been
and
supersonic. I think I was going to say. So everyone on the edge of their seat, including Madonna. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1. I suspect she's not on the edge of her seat, actually. She was very much languishing.
It's a place to be just now. Taylor Swift's in town as well tonight.
Yeah, I haven't seen her yet.
I don't think she got the game necessarily. She was in town.
Yeah. Here is Gakpo. Gakpo brilliantly dispossessed by Estevao, who passes the ball through the middle for Fernandez to chase, but even with his brilliant physical powers, he couldn't reach that, going at full tilt, and it was all the way through to Mamadashvili.
That ball was on though. I mean, he's seen it. He's won the ball, Estevao. He's got his eyes up. He's seen the right pass. He just couldn't deliver it. In that situation, don't play in front of the player. Play on his feet and ask him to deal with it.
Gakpo now cutting in field. His pass was actually intercepted by the tireless Estevao, running back into his own penalty area. Back to the Rugby League, Chris Cooper.
Getting tense. Hulkingston Rovers 20, St Helens 12. Harry Robertson with a try. Another lengthy delay for the video ref. Extras added by Lomax. They need 2 tries. They've got 5 minutes.
And now Curtis Jones finds some space and shoots over the top from an angle, right side of the penalty area. Looks to the heavens.
It's not an easy opportunity. He has it at an angle there, but you want to get it on target. You want to ask the goalkeeper a question. Lovely little dummy. Keep it down, keep it on target. If the keeper saves it, it might go out to one of your own players. But he just got a little bit too excited there when he seen the goals in front of him. It was an angle, it was tough, but you've got to get it on target.
In the Prem, in the Rugby Union, Saracens 43, Bristol 12 now. And we've got, Pat, 3 minutes of added time to play. Anthony Taylor gives a free kick against Gittins. Liverpool.
We're in on the slot time, aren't we now?
Yes, we are.
Sort of
slottage time,
yep,
as they call it. Liverpool have not won here for, well, it's over 5 years now. Have it with Ekitike, who hits a nice little ball through for Robertson, who took a touch, but then Caicedo coming across makes sure that was going to run all the way behind for a goal kick.
Right by Caicedo again. We did similar with Robertson, who actually pushed him into a mistake about 10 minutes ago. He wasn't going to do it again. Caicedo seen the danger, made sure he killed it, which was stone dead.
1-1, Chelsea coming forward again. A draw has been a popular result between these sides in those 5 years. 3 of the 4 matches played. Now Gittins again. Gittins back to the edge of the penalty area. Fernandez with the ball inside the box, plays it for Cucurella, cross goal, and the chance is in! Estevao with the winner! Sliding in the 6-yard box! What a time for the 18-year-old to score his first goal for Chelsea! And Enzo Maresca has set off and done a Jose Mourinho all the way down the touchline to congratulate the 18-year-old. It looks like Chelsea have snatched it almost right at the end, and that Liverpool are facing 3 defeats in 8 days. 2-1 Chelsea.
Well, Chelsea probably had slightly better chances in this game, but they went down the left-hand side again. It's been just too easy. Every single time they go down that left side, they get to the byline, they get across, and up until now they haven't had anybody who's trapped that back post and willing to take a chance and get in there. And Estevao, the oldest one in the book, just get to the back post. If it arrives there, then you've got a tough in. He gets there. He's a very young player. but what a massive moment it is there. I mean, lovely play that left-hand side for Chelsea. They're looking for an offside there. I can't see any offside about it at all. And it's Cucurella who puts the ball in for the tap-in for Esteval.
Esteval sliding in, Robertson stretching with him, but the teenager got there first, and from a little bit of an angle, right side of the 6-yard box, was able to force it in. And they're just showing us pictures again of, and that is a full-blown sprint from Maresca to leap under the shoulders of Esteval, and Chelsea winning by 2-1.
I don't think Chelsea will care about the red card for Maresca now. He was on a yellow already, so he can't run down there and do anything except get the red card.
Yeah, second yellow for... I think it's fair to say that he left the technical area there by about 50 yards.
He almost left SW6, mate.
If he kept going like that, he'd be halfway down the Fulham Road by now.
Wrong side, John. Sells Courtney was heading towards there.
Good point. That's that way. That's the other way.
Just watching it just now. Liverpool will try everything they can. They've only got seconds left. They've got Virgil van Dijk playing centre forward now.
Yeah.
But, you know, even for Liverpool, this is a big ask to get a last moment goal.
Chelsea now closing in on what will be their first Premier League win since August. And what a win it'll be for them. The FIFA Club World Cup winners about to beat the Premier League champions, and Liverpool facing their second Premier League defeat of the season. London, Selhurst Park last weekend, London, Stamford Bridge this weekend, and there can only be seconds left now. Anthony Taylor blows the whistle, and that's it, it's over. Esteval's goal in the 6th minute of added time has won it for Chelsea and beaten the Premier League champions, and Liverpool, who've scored so many late winning goals themselves this season, have been done by one here at Stamford Bridge today. Chelsea 2-1 winners.
Well, in a season of very late goals, not just by Liverpool, it's happened against Liverpool, obviously at Crystal Palace as well, but this time it's Chelsea. They've kept going, they look stronger and stronger at the end, and what they did, the rest have decided to go for youth. 3 attack-minded players brought on, all young, and one of them, Esteval, gets into that back post and scores a goal. So a manager under a lot of pressure before this game. If they win this game, people forget about that pressure for quite some time. And on top of that, Chelsea played very well today under difficult circumstances. Well, looks like that one opens up the league a little bit.
Rather, Arsenal stay top of the league. Virgil van Dijk is leading the Liverpool players towards those Liverpool fans who are still inside the ground. Arne Slot as well. Pat, Arne Slot's just lost 3 in a row for his first time as the Liverpool manager.
Yeah, it's never always going to go completely smoothly start to finish. He's won the league in his first season. He's had to change the squad up a little bit, you know, and the tactical things that are changing as well. Remember, as Arne Slot has said himself, Liverpool have got this big gigantic target on the back now. Everybody wants to beat them. And this, I watched Galatasaray, they were celebrating as if they won the Champions League final by beating Liverpool. Chelsea fans will celebrate like they win the Champions League final by beating Liverpool, and that's the problem you've got if you are the champions. That's why it's hard to retain your title. And we're sitting here today, Chelsea fans will be delighted, Liverpool fans will be concerned, Arsenal fans will be off the scale happy just now, which is not often something you see when Chelsea have just won a match.
No, the fireworks went off inside the ground, and real signs of celebration all around Stamford Bridge, and that's absolutely it, Pat. You know, Liverpool having won the league so well last season and then spent the best part of £500 million on new players. I mean, it's not panic stations, of course, by any means, but their next match after the international window is Manchester United at Anfield. 6:06 on the way, by the way. 08085 909 693 for your calls to Natalie Pike, and Chris Sutton will be going there shortly. Final word, Pat.
Really enjoyable game, and one of the great things about the Premier League this season is there are a lot of teams playing very open football. not going for draws, keeping on going to the last minutes, to the last seconds. And in this game today, no one's going to be clever. It could have been Liverpool that scored the last minute winner. It was Chelsea that scored the last minute winner. And I suspect with the way the teams are playing just now, this spell could continue all the way to the end of the season.
Yeah, vivid scenes of celebration still around Stamford Bridge. Pat Nevin, thank you very much for your company once again here at Stamford Bridge. We also need to wrap things up in the Super League playoff semi-final. Chris Cooper.
Scenes of celebration here, John, for Hull Kingston Rovers, because they've beaten St Helens by 20 points to 12, but slightly muted. They're going back to Old Trafford, a repeat of last year's grand final against Wigan. They've won nothing yet, but the treble is very much on. They totally blitzed Saints in the first half. Tries from Lewis and Burgess. In the second half, 2 from Gelhardt ensured that the St Helens fight back was going to be minimal and inconsequential. Hull Kingston Rovers 20, St Helens 12.
And what about Hearts Hibs, Gavin Wallace? What about Hearts Hibs, Gavin Wallace? So last we heard, the score was Hearts 0, Hibs 0. I'm just going to see if I can update that for you. It is indeed the score, Hearts 0, Hibs 0, the 5:45 kickoff, so a little while to go in that match. But the Chelsea players, the celebrating Chelsea players, have only now, I'm just seeing Estevao, the man who today has scored his first goal for Chelsea, the 18-year-old, the summer signing from Palmeiras. What a day for him in his 9th appearance for Chelsea. He doesn't want to go. They're still escorting him down the tunnel.
So one of the things I would say about Estevao, it wasn't brilliant to come on today. I mean, but every time any Chelsea player gets the ball, they try and find him. That tells you a story about a player. An 18-year-old that everybody wants to give him the ball every time they've got it tells you what he's capable of and what he's doing in training. He's going to be special.
Yes, he is. He's got something about him, no question. And I can tell you in the National League, it did finish Scunthorpe United 0, Carlisle United 1. So 5 Live tomorrow on Premier League Sunday. We'll have all of the top sport covered, and all of the Premier League matches you'll be able to hear commentary in one place or other. But on 5 Live from 2 o'clock, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, and then Brentford against Manchester City from 4:30. Colin Murray will be on the air at 10 o'clock. The great football songbook tomorrow is Middlesbrough, 10:30. So listen out for that. And weekend breakfast from 7 o'clock in the morning, reviews and previews all the top sport. But that is it from 5 Live Sport. We are now ready for 6:06 on 5 Live with Chris Sutton and Natalie Pike.